Rachel. I'm a homeschool mom to two boys, and we just finished our 3rd and 5th grade, and so now we are officially doing middle school. And so I will have, starting the first week of July, we will be starting our 4th grade and our 6th grade in our house. And today's video is going to be what I do to prepare for a new year. So I can kind of break down what I do into 3 different sections. I have planner prep, curriculum prep, and then the homeschool room prep. So the first thing before any of this happens, obviously we pick our curriculum, we get our resources put together, and we do any back to school shopping that's needed. I do have videos for my 4th grade picks, 6th grade picks, and my back to school shopping, that's what it's called. So I do have 3 videos that talk about those parts. But after all of that is done, there is still a whole lot of work to do, and so this is what my process looks like each year. Sometimes things are different, but this is pretty much the same each year. So for my planner prep, I do use a planner, education edition from a company called Rad and Happy. This was my last one, and then this will be my new one, and I have a video that flips through these. This is an undated planner, so I have to go through and I have to do all the dates. Now they do have the months in the beginning, and then all the weeks are going to be in the back. And so I've already gone ahead and I've dated my planner. Once I have all of my dates in, then I go through, and this does take a long time, but I put in all of the lessons for all of the subjects, and I kind of explained why I do that in my video about this, my homeschool planner. It does take a while, but it is worth it, and I come back and I use this part of my planner throughout the year to help me keep on track and kind of just see how far we are at a glance. And when I have all of the lessons listed and I know how many lessons are in each subject, I go ahead and I take that number and I divide it by 50. 50 weeks is kind of what I work with. We don't do school the last week of June, and then we typically take a week off for Christmas. And we take breaks when we need them. I have a video about that too, but I go ahead and I take each subject and I divide it by 50, and that helps me get an understanding of how many lessons of that subject the kids need to do each week. And I will go ahead and write all of that information down and kind of create a sample schedule, and we'll go ahead and try and commit to that for the first 2 to 4 weeks and kind of see how realistic it is, if it's a good flow. What our sweet spot seems to be is 4 different subjects a day, plus whatever the morning time is. Now we have done more than that and we have done less than that, but that does seem to be a really good fit for us. And so what I'll do is I'll go ahead and write a 5-day sample schedule and then a 4-day sample schedule, because every week with us looks a little bit different. And so that way I kind of have a good plan to start with, and then when we need to be flexible, I figure out where that needs to go. And then I will also do the same thing for a morning time schedule. I kind of have an idea of what I want. Typically at the beginning of the year, it's a bit more ambitious than what we really get done, but I will go ahead and write out a example or a possible schedule. We'll give it a shot, see how it goes for a few weeks, and if it's too much, that's typically where we're gonna start dropping stuff, but it's always nice to just kind of go for it and try it out and see if it works. Now, the next part of what my prep includes is the curriculum prep. What I do is I pull all the curriculum out and I stick it all on the table, and I go through each subject for each kid and kind of get a feel of what the average lesson is going to be. Meaning, are there going to be worksheets needed? Do they need a notebook for this section? Is there a video lesson? Kind of understanding what the different tasks of each lesson is going to be. And I go ahead and I keep a list of that. I make a master list where I write down all of those types of things. For example, for Fix-It Grammar, they're going to have vocabulary words that they need to write down, so they need their dictionary and they're going to need their notebook. And then what they're going to do is they're going to fix it, label the parts of speech, and then rewrite it. And how many times a week are they going to do that? And so just kind of an understanding of what every subject is going to look like so that I can help my kids understand what to expect. And then the next thing, what I do is I like to make a master list of all the curriculum that we're going to be using so that it's just written down somewhere. There have been years where I didn't, and I was like, oh, I'll remember, but I don't. And so it's just nice to do it while it's fresh. Sometimes things change. Sometimes we buy curriculum and we decide, oh, this is not for us. But I like to just have the first initial list, and so I go ahead and I do that for each kid. And I did include the electives for my 6th grader. Now the next thing I make sure to do is to prep whatever our morning time stuff is. And for us, we are going to do a hymn study. We've done that in the past. We didn't do it last year. We're going to try and bring it back. My printer stopped working, but once that's fixed, then I'm going to print off the hymn that we're working on and laminate it. And so any other kind of morning time supplies that I need to pull together or any work I need to do, I make sure that that is done before the school year starts. Now, I did in my back to school shopping show that I had little tabs. I was going to do that for my teacher's guide, but once I got into it, I realized it really didn't make sense to do it. And so instead, our science specifically has 3 sections in it for plants, animals, and the human body. And so I went ahead and pulled out all of the plant section, which is the first part, and I just stuck it in a 3-ring binder, and I think actually that's going to work a whole lot better. So I'll keep those tabs handy. I'm sure I'll find a use for them throughout the year, but I ended up just taking the book apart and just putting what I needed for the first section of the science into that binder. So that binder got divided between the worksheets, the answers to the worksheets, the tests, the quizzes, the answers to that. I think there's a supply list and probably a glossary I think was in there. And so all of that just for plants is in one area, and that will be a whole lot easier to maintain and just find exactly what I need each week. And I did, while I was there, go ahead and look at the first couple of weeks of the science for the experiments to see if there are any supplies that I'll be needing, and make a list of those things. And then the other thing I did is I created a couple sheets to go with woodshop. Woodshop is my middle schooler's elective, which will be taught by his dad. And he will be going through this book here, Woodshop by Margaret Larson. So what I went ahead and did, I went through the book and I wrote out what lessons and page numbers there would be, and I did ask if it would be possible to do 6 projects, and I left lines so that there's a lot of project options that they could choose from. Now this is kind of a trial and error year, so I don't know if this is a practical expectation. We're gonna find out. So what I wrote in here was that the goal was to accomplish the following tasks in 1 semester. I did ask a minimum of 1 shop class a week for the student, and that can include any of the reading the material, learning the lessons, working on the projects, and or the trips to the hardware store for supplies. I do think some of these, they'll probably be doing a few of these per week because some of these are going to be super quick, and they might even end up doing woodshop twice a week if they choose. The projects will probably be taking more time, and so what I did is I included a progress tracker. That way each week they can kind of write down what they worked on to see if that was helpful. The next thing I made was a grading scale for woodshop. I have 5 things here, and each category will be 20% of the final grade. The grade categories are participation and focus, comprehension and recall, project quality, safety skills, and shopping etiquette. But here is what I have. And so here my husband has an understanding what to grade on. And then the last sheet is where he will insert the grades he thinks are appropriate. Now I wrote insert grade for each week where applicable, and then I have it in categories here on the top. And so not every week he's going to be getting a grade in each category. So anyways, I made up these 3 papers for our woodshop class. And then the last thing is the homeschool room prep. So always just need to do a refresh, pull out all the old stuff, put in the new, kind of clean it up. I typically do that the last week of June. So I haven't really done that yet. I kind of started and just took out the old stuff and put in the new. I'm going to get some dividers to put at the very top there. I have our family subjects, which is geography, science, history, and then I also am going to include map skills in there. And so I did get some dividers that are coming, and I'm going to divide the 4 sections up there. And then below is my 6th graders work, and then below that is my 4th graders work. And then I did go ahead and pull that 3-tier cart down, and I was able to put all of my grading stuff in there. My Homeschool Mom binder is in there, all the teacher guides, and then a lot of the morning time stuff, and then some of our other supplies are in there as well. And then this is something that happens every month, but we do have one of those whiteboard calendars we keep in our homeschool room, and I just put our kids' schedule on there every month. So every month I just redo it. If there's stuff for just me or just my husband, I don't put it on there. This is just the schedule that pertains to our kids, and so that's something I refresh every single month. Alright, so that's all that I have. Super simple this week, just what I do to plan for the new school year. But if you have any questions, let me know, and thank you for watching, and I will see you on the next video. Okay, bye.